Got the shower head mounted. Close hook. Curtain rods, same thing on that side. And this is for the mirror that's going to go in the bathroom door. My buddy Nicky's got some polished stainless plate real thin that I'm going to put in it. So I've routed it out an edge all the way around. I'll glue it in and then glue it. So this is number 7 going in of the drawers. Got the little thumb latch for the release. I got 2 more. That's all the hardware for them. There's the 2 that's left. And there's the last couple of drawer faces. That's one, and then one more there. So I have one drawer there and one there. This gets doors. That's the stove oven. The fridge. So I have all my cabinet drawers done except for that one. And I goofed up, so I'm making another face. So pretty good size. So I'll have that one probably done tomorrow after it dries, and I've glued it. So my drawer faces are done. These doors are done. I'm going to hang these doors. Fridge, of course. Stove, oven. That there is the heat vent outlet, a 3-inch. And then I still got to drill my holes here for my gas detection, my fumes. Because I have fume detection in here, carbon monoxide, and one goes there. I have another one that goes underneath, and then one underneath the deck back here also. So I have 3 of those. I'm putting my generator plug in. So that's a 30 amp, 120 volt, same as the marine hookups, and that's stern light I put in. I got to put these in so that I'm not covering up when I put my tackle centers in, so because I'm working on all my aluminum boxes for my 3 tackle centers. So the power is going to run up above there. Anyway, I got them made up, and then I'm gonna spray a little of this Corrosion X on it, on just the terminals and the wire, and then bed it in silicone and put it in and make it up. I'm making up my tackle center. So here's all the shelves and pieces. So these are the sides, the boxes. So I'm using these real short rivet, 3/16. So not much of a head sticks in. So I painted the white will show, and of course I goofed up. I pre-drilled them, and then I realized I wasn't gonna be able to drill from the inside, so I'm drilling from the outside. Luckily on the other ones I didn't do that. All I did was have a hole for the hanging wire. But these are the, I have all kinds of these tackle trays, these, I guess you call them Plano boxes. So in the boat, they'll just slide in, the bigger ones. And they'll be enclosed with gray King StarBoard plastic doors. So I'm working on that one. I got 2 more after this. So my doors are King StarBoard plastic, and they all started out full sheets. So I'm routering and cutting and fitting. So the hinges, stainless steel, I'm using number 6 flatheads to secure them, of course pre-drilling with everything. But putting these latches in, these, they call them slam latches, of course, and the reason why is because they slam. But anyway, I'm just getting ready to put this one up, but I'm gonna do a video on the next round showing how I use the aluminum to border everything and use it to router. So they're looking fairly decent. So this door, with the slam latches goes, this is the the propane locker, and then also the passage for my electronics to connect all my steering and Optimus. So this door mounts right up on here, and I'm getting ready to secure that in place. Propane locker door installed. I gotta adjust my back stops for my slam latches, but there you go. So I got a 1/2 inch front, 1/2 inch doors, of course, because what I've done is I cut with an 1/8 inch router, cut the pattern out of the door, and then I put a 1/4 inch piece behind it, and I'm just using pieces. There's a seam up here, down here somewhere anyway, where I just pieced together, but there's a 3/8 reveal here so that the door closes against it. I siliconed the seam between the 1/4 and 1/2, and I siliconed just a thin strip behind it, just to keep any water from dripping directly down in there. And once I tighten this latch from behind, then water should pretty much sheet down. And then I cut vent lines in there. And that's what they're gonna look like over here when I'm done. So same black hardware and the tackle center where all my Planos tackle stuff go, and then the storage there, and then the hydronic heat goes in that backside there. And they'll all have doors just like these here. So this is the port side tackle center, storage, and this is the area where the hydraulic heat's going to go. So it's all cleaned up, ready to go tomorrow morning. I got the drawers up there. The doors, I mean, are sitting there, and it's all clean, prepped, ready. That's where it's going to sit. All right, got the one side of it done. A little tricky with one hand. So just put a bead of silicone in there, and then I put this trim piece down the edge. The door swings this way. There'll be a stop up top up here for it to latch to so it doesn't swing around. So that one's done in, and I'm gonna start on this guy. This will take me a day and a half to cut out and put together. So rest of the day, but it sure makes it look finished. Like I say, this up here gets countertop on here, a gray one, and it comes out over, it'll come out over this lip about 3/4 of an inch, something like that. So the tools I'm using to cut my King StarBoard, this is called King StarBoard. This is the 1/2 inch, which is the face. And I took the router and cleaned up the edge on the top. That one there I did not, that has a saw mark. But on here, after I routed it, and what I did was I put a piece of aluminum as a guide. I just left a little bit proud, like 1/16 to an 1/8 inch, and then ran the router down it. And you can see the shavings on the floor from it. So what I used for that face router was, it's a 3/4 inch carbide face router with a bearing on it, and I used the long aluminum straight bars that I have everywhere. I have them up here on the top and for guides. And that guides, and that gives it a perfect straight line down the edges. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in, and I have my 1/8 inch bit, and it's a bit that as it turns, it kicks the particles up. And it seems to cut better than the one that shoots them down, like it wanted to lift the tool. So this one's working better, and I go in looking at it a clockwise direction. That way it's cutting with it, it's holding it to the frame. So I put the frame around it, and I have an offset. That is the distance from the edge to the edge of the router bit from the outside edge of the guide base. And this is my corner piece, so that as I come along here, I hit this and it makes my little 90. So I'm going to start to cut this. So that's the bit I use, and I've clamped it all, so I have my pattern for my door. So that once I cut it, this is my door out of the piece. And so this is the one full length that's going to go on the aft 2 tackle storage, my access to my batteries and fuel filters. Over there is a storage. So that's the tools I'm using. And then what I do is I put a 1/4 inch behind it to space it and give it a profile for the door to close against. And when I do that, I cut it, and I have this one to cut, and it just goes along the 1/2 inch that I've already cut. It's just a guide, that one there, and then an 1/8 inch bit just to go along and trim the 1/4 inch. And that gives me my reveal for my door to close against. And then I also take my face router and let the part of the 1/2 inch guide it, and it just trims it right exact all the way around. So I got the doors all cut out, and the reveal, the 1/4 inch for the doors to close against, that's all on. This door is already drilled and fitted, just in place.
You're on.
The t-shirt kind of says it all. Don't ever leave me unsupervised. Some people know that. Anyway, I got all the King StarBoard cabinetry installed. I'm waiting on a couple slam latches. Drawers. Of course, I had to throw trolling stuff in. I installed the raw water connection. This is kind of a cool little feature. You just, instead of threaded, it just twists sideways and just pops out. It's got a little lobe on it, so you just put it to the hose and reach in there and stick it in, and it just pops in once you get used to it. So got that, of course got these done. Got the door. So the door it latches. This is the 1/2 inch King StarBoard. Just reach in, unlatch it, and then I have a spring release. And I put a plastic on here for rubs so it doesn't tear up the paint. Sacrificial. And when it closes, it'll stab right in there. Right now I caulked it and I'll drill it so it's not going to get water in there. This is the tie-up ropes. So when we come in, we know exactly where our ropes are. And this door, I built it so that you can't fall out. It's not a suicide door. Suicide door is one that closes this way and you count on the latch, which people have forgot to put on and they fall out of the boat. This way here, if you're leaning up against this, you have to work to get through it. Ray Marine, I got my little 7-inch screen up here mounted. And that'll play off of the main 12-inch and the 9-inch. And there we have it. This is the bleed sink. So you can throw the fish in here when you bring them on board live. This is 38 inches in length here. 1/2 inch King StarBoard. I got the hinge all the way across the back. And then stainless wire to hold it. And it's fairly heavy, and it isn't going to pop up, that's for sure. But that way you can throw the fish in there, pull the gills, let them flop for a little bit, and then put them in the fish box. These are the holes for the fish cleaning table. I have an aluminum fish cleaning table that sits there. It needs to be painted still. So all the cabinetry is done. Got my last couple pieces of trim on in this corner. And then we have plastic on it right now, but we have cushions. I mounted that so that it's behind this wood. Anyway, we got the cushions sitting in here just to get them in here to get a feel for everything. And